voted the best television station on the Western Edge. Consolidated Channel 18.
and gentlemen, I now declare the 2023 Dickinson State University Commencement Ceremony open. Please welcome to the podium Dr. John Miller, Interim Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Graduating students, family, and friends of our students, honored guests, faculty, and staff members, welcome to Dickinson State University's 2023 Commencement Ceremony. The prelude and processional music was provided by the DSU Concert Band, conducted by Dr. Brian Holder. As a housekeeping reminder, please turn your phones to silent and also refrain from using any noise-making devices. In addition, the use of air horns or other noise-making devices is prohibited, and we thank you for your cooperation. Displayed on stage today are the flags of the graduates' respective home countries and the tribal flags of our own American Indian graduates, as well as our own North Dakota and DSU flags. At this time, I would like to introduce the platform party seated on the stage. I ask that they stand when I call their name. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. The 13th President of Dickinson State University, President Easton. I can tell it's going to be a tough crowd today because you're going to want to clap about everything. That's okay. Leslie Wistock, Chief Operating Officer. Kayla Noah, Dean of Students. Dr. Holly Grocke, Dean of the College of Business Education and Applied Sciences. Nick Hacker, North Dakota State Board of Higher Education member. Thank you. The following faculty and staff members were nominated for emeritus distinction this year. If they are here with us today, we ask that they please stand and be recognized. Anna Hatzenbuehler, Custodial and Maintenance. Loretta Height, Assistant Professor of Business, Chair of the School of Business and Entrepreneurship, and former University Store Manager. Mark Lowe, Assistant Professor of Accounting and former Controller and VFPA. Amy Markwart, Custodial and Maintenance. If there are any other current emeriti faculty or staff in attendance today, will you please also stand and be recognized. I would now like to recognize this year's outstanding graduates. Full biographies are located in the commencement booklet. And for the awardees, please stand as you are recognized. Our first recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Award is Ariana Eilers. Now you need to stand up, Ariana. Thank you. Ariana is from Brandon, Manitoba, Canada, and is the daughter of John Eilers and Angie Bouchard. She is graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in biology. She plans to attend the University of North Dakota to pursue a Master's of Biomedical Sciences. Our other outstanding graduate is Brendan Johnson. Brendan is from Dickinson and is the son of Don and Heidi Clark. He has graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice. After graduation, he plans to work for a local pipeline company. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President President Easton for opening remarks.
Honored graduates and guests, thank you for being here today. Wanted to just say just a couple of things about this particular class. Now, there are many paths to college graduation. Some from my vintage think that there's only one path, 4 years. That's not the only path. But we do have some, in fact, quite a few who will be graduating today who followed that path. They are just on a personal level, they are particularly significant to me because if you spent 4 years and you're about to graduate from Dickinson State, that means you inherited me in the middle of your freshman year because you're the first class I've had that's gone all the way through the steps toward graduation. I want to personally thank you for your welcoming of me and my family. Here's something else it means for our, and this is true of essentially all of our graduates. But if you started at Dickinson State in the fall of 2019, you had a fairly typical fall semester, and in the middle of your second semester of college, the world turned upside down. On March 13th of 2020, an international pandemic was declared. We, about 2.5 weeks later, sent you off to spring break and then basically said, don't come back. If you're here, we'll keep you here. And we completely changed your mode of education. And that was not easy for anyone. It wasn't easy for our faculty, which stepped up and figured out some of them had never taught that in that manner before, and they had to flip to that in just a very short period of time. It wasn't easy for you. Many of the things that you were counting on doing that spring semester were taken away from you in an instant. We didn't have plays, we didn't have concerts, we didn't have sporting events. And then we sort of rebuilt that over the period of your time. Then this year, and this one wasn't as big as that, because this year we thought we were going to be in a relatively normal year. And then this year, your senior year, we had, and this is not hyperbole, we had the worst winter in the history of Dickinson, North Dakota. They measure it. We passed our snow record by over 2 feet. There were 2 feet more snow this winter than there has ever been in the recorded history of Dickinson, North Dakota. And we again did a little miniature version of, no, we're going to send everything out remotely. And again, our faculty stepped up and did that, and our students survived that. So you are pre-toughened. I always say that about every Dickinson State University graduating class, because if you wanted an easy path, you would have gone somewhere where the weather's a lot nicer, and you chose to be tough enough to come to Dickinson State. We do have a little tradition I want to make you aware of. A few of you might be at Dickinson State. When you get your diploma cover, we're also going to give you this folder. What I'm about to suggest to you, some of you will forget as soon as I say it. I mean it very seriously. Someone gave me this suggestion at about in middle age. I wish I had received it earlier. This is your magic moments folder. So you put in this folder those things that will remind you of the really good days. I would suggest that your first entry in this folder might be the program from today's graduation. And then put a few things in there from your college time that were really special or from your childhood times. And then when you go into the work that Dickinson State has prepared you to do, and you have those tough days, Those days for those of you that are teachers, where you're having really real problems with one of your students, and you're having one or more of your students, and you're having trouble getting through to them. Those days for those of you that are going to go into business, who are wondering how you're going to make payroll for your employees at the end of the week because it's been a tough week on the revenue side. For the nurses, when you lost someone that you cared deeply about. You will have those days in your profession. And about a dozen times in your life, you take out the folder and you remind yourself of the good days. The good days, and our wish for you is that the good days vastly exceed the bad days. We hope you'll be able to stuff this folder with all sorts of wonderful memories. Thank you for being at Dickinson State. We hope, now we've put a blue cover on it, so we're kind of rigging it, but we hope Dickinson State will be part of your memories of the good days. Keep doing great things. I'm not going to say go do great things because you've been doing great things during your time at Dickinson State. Keep doing great things. Come back and visit us often. We want to see you as often as you can get back to campus and back to town. And congratulations on a great moment in your lives. We will now listen to a musical selection performed by the DSU Chorale, conducted by our own Mackenzie Hicks. Thank you, DSU Chorale, for the beautiful music. With us today on behalf of the North Dakota State Board of Higher Education is board member Nick Hacker, who is also CEO of the title team.
Good afternoon, President Easton, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates of the class of 2023. On behalf of the State Board of Higher Education, let me congratulate you on your educational achievements. One of the high points each year is getting the opportunity to visit our campuses and being a part of these wonderful events that serve as a milestone of our brightest young individuals. As an 8-year member of the board, I can attest that each member takes our responsibility in setting policy for the university system seriously, because we're doing it on behalf of you, the students. It's with great pride that we attend these commencement ceremonies where we get to see the culmination of that policy, and more importantly, your hard work come to fruition. Graduating class of 2023, you've made it. You've gotten up each day to meet the challenges ahead, and you've satisfied all of the program requirements, and I know many of you taken additional steps to give back to the campus and community. You should be extremely proud of each and every step you took to reach today and for the first of many more milestones to come. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Go Blue Hawks.
At this time, I would like to introduce DSU's 2023 Distinguished Educator of the Year, Thad O'Donnell. Thad is an assistant professor of physical education and the head golf coach. He has also been department chair for the School of Kinesiology since 2016. And I must have edited it out, but it should be noted, is a Dickinson State alum. Please welcome Thad O'Donnell, our Distinguished Educator of the Year.
It is my pleasure to introduce our 2023 commencement speakers, Kirsten Bowen and Alexa Delbridge. First to speak to us today is Alexa Delbridge. Alexa is the daughter of Arlen and Kathy Delbridge. She graduated from Sturgis Brown High School in the May of 2018. Alexa graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing and a minor in leadership studies.
Graduates, faculty, staff, administrators, alumni, and guests, welcome to the 2023 Dickinson State University Spring Commencement. As a proud member of the Blue Hawk family, I am honored to be standing here today. Now, I am not a daughter, a granddaughter, or cousin of an alumnus or alumna of DSU. I did not grow up in Dickinson or in North Dakota at all. Frankly, I did not know much about the amazing Dickinson community before coming here. Back in 2018, I was not confident in where I wanted to go to college. I admit, I did not have my ducks in a row regarding my next steps in life. And I know this might come as a surprise to those who know me, but I didn't have an organized list of options A, B, and C, maybe with some color coordination here and there. However, today, I can say that I am confident. I am confident in believing that everyone is placed in different positions throughout their lives for a reason. I am confident that DSU was placed in front of me just 5 short years ago for a reason. I am confident that DSU was the place for us to find ourselves, to grow, and to be a part of something big. This day means so much to so many people. Many of you here today made this day possible for us. Your support, guidance, encouragement, and maybe even the occasional reality check kept us moving forward to this day. On behalf of the graduates, thank you. Time. According to the Oxford Dictionary, time is defined as the indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. During our time at DSU, we both imagined and doubted that we would make it to this day. At times, we could not wait to be here. For some, that was day one of classes. This is a time, class of 2023, where we get to reflect on our DSU experiences, the tailgates before sports games, and the celebrations that followed, the unifying events hosted by clubs and organizations, the inspirational speakers visiting our small town university, DSU Heritage Foundation events that familiarized us with our amazing donors, the late nights before an upcoming exam, and yes, even those pesky all-nighters too. The annual convocations welcoming us to a new year, and days like today, Commencement, where we have seen our friends graduate to the next phase of their journeys. Graduates, today is that day for you. This is a time we will remember forever. However, we must remember to be aware of time. Time can get away from us, and it will over and over again. It feels like just yesterday I was experiencing my first week of welcome. Now, I cannot speak for everyone here, but I did live in the dorms at the start of my education at DSU. I moved into DeLong Hall with seven other suite mates, 4 suites on a floor, and the building being 6 stories tall, made for a potential 190 students or thereabouts living in one building. To some, that sounds like chaos. But to me, that was my welcoming to my new extended DSU family. Such stories were many of our first memories made with the people sitting next to us today. Let us reflect on these times as we prepare to move forward with focus. Today is the time that we move the bar of success from this to this. For the last 4+ years, we have put in our time to get here. We now move into a world where we have a university degree with a plethora of opportunities. In a recent interview, I was asked what being a Blue Hawk means to me. Without hesitation, I said, family. Of course, I am reaffirming what is a typical DSU theme, but what do Blue Hawks do? We stand by each other on the court, field, stage, or classroom, aiming to make each other better. We help each other in our times of need, always coming together as one. Take a look around, folks. We have a full house here today, not just to support one person, but to celebrate our impact in the community. We often reflect on the good times that got us here, but we must also acknowledge the challenges. It is because of those battles that we have perseverance, strength, and resilience. We all fight our battles differently, but for me, I often look to my loved ones. I would like to thank my family, my friends, those of you here and not here, for the continued guidance and support. I would also like to thank the Theodore Roosevelt Honors Leadership Program and the Department of Nursing for creating this version of me I have always dreamed of being. A family member of mine gave me some advice when I started my journey in college. He told me to always remember my personal and professional north, to remember the plan I have set out for myself, to never forget where I came from, and to focus on the path before me. Today, I leave you with the same advice. Do not fear adversity, but embrace it. When you find yourself in moments of misdirection, look down, find your foot, and place the other in front of it. Face the direction you want to go, your personal and professional north. Do not rush time, as often opportunity finds us more than we find it. And as always, Hawks are up.
Our other student speaker today is Kirsten Bowen. Kirsten is from Vermilion, South Dakota, and is the daughter of Theodore and Dawn Bowen, and the step-parents of Justin Brown and Leslie King. She graduated from Vermilion High School in May of 2018. Kirsten is graduating with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Psychology and a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Music.
I came to Dickinson State University in 2019. However, my DSU story starts in 2018, a year before my arrival here. Out of high school, I was accepted on a full-ride scholarship to a private college in Minneapolis. I was convinced if I left my small town of Vermilion for a big city like Minneapolis, all of my problems would disappear. Well, was I in for a rude awakening when I went to Minneapolis. Unfortunately, I struggled to know my classmates. I knew I was struggling, so I went to my professors, but instead of opening their doors, they sent me emails referring me to upperclassmen and online sources for help. Going from a National Honor Society student to a student on academic probation, I slowly began to not recognize the student that I was becoming. I knew I was not alone in this transitional struggle to adulthood and college, but I still felt extremely isolated. So I dropped out before I could flunk out. But the damage of feeling like I was a failure was already done. To avoid the embarrassment of returning to my hometown, I took a gap year and moved to North Dakota, where my extended family lived. I worked at a small grocery store and slowly found my passion for learning again. I looked at two schools, DSU and Minot State University. I chose DSU because the application fee was free and I didn't have to audition for the music department. But I had no idea what else that choice had in store for me. Classmates and alumni and students, please raise your hand if the following questions apply to you. How many of you chose DSU because it was close to home or family? Raise them high, guys. There we go. How many of you chose DSU because it was affordable? How many of you went to another college before coming to DSU? Although I do not know the name of every person who raised their hand, I do know we share more in common than our soon-to-be alma mater of DSU. Through our time at DSU, we have all persisted through difficulty to the stars, ad astra per aspera. All of us have experienced the up and downs of university life. Bad roommate experiences, oversleeping through a test, barely passing a class, or waiting too late to start an assignment and surprisingly getting a 0. With such experience, I was reminded of Minneapolis. I looked to these experiences as failures, and I was pulled into a self-fulfilling prophecy of failing again. I got an F on a test, so I must be failing at college. I was late to class, so I felt like I was going to flunk out again. But despite our challenges, we all persisted through difficulties to get here today. I persisted, you persisted. We all had crossroads along the way, and DSU paved the path towards success. DSU personnel, including many of you in the audience, you went beyond teaching us for classes, for ensembles, and games. Graduates have all experienced this in our own ways. Faculty, staff, coaches, and administrators opened their doors for office hours, expecting students with academic, musical, or athletic questions, but got weary-eyed, stressed-out students at various crossroads in our journeys. To the DSU personnel, I say thank you for the emotional support you provided us. In particular, I would like to thank those who affected my crossroads. Dr. Brent Rogers, Mrs. Kelsey Rogers, Dr. Wendy Wilson, and Dr. George Soror, along with all other music and psychology faculty at DSU, for giving me the guidance and motivation at my crossroads. Without you, I would not continue this path that brought me here today. I also want to thank my music and my psychology family. Thank you for being a shoulder to lean on and sharing this journey with me. You have given me community in this educational experience, and I cannot thank you enough. Besides DSU personnel, our graduates and our friends and family contribute to our success. From all of today's graduates, I would like to thank the family members, whether by blood or by choice, for being supportive of our aspirations. I would also like to thank our friends who kept pushing us forward. I doubt I'm alone in the frequent conversation of "that's it, I'm giving up, I'm gonna drop out, I'm gonna move somewhere warmer like Arizona with things to do. Without those voices on the other line promising us we were so close to the end and encouraging us to keep going, I don't think any of us would be here today. Finally, I think we deserve to thank ourselves. Graduation is supposed to be a celebration of us, our hard work, our dedication, lost sleep, and sometimes our literal blood, sweat, and tears. Emphasis on tears. Today, I would like to give you a reminder for your future. Maybe you'll remember the short phrase, ad astra per aspera, as you're applying for that new job or promotion, closing on a house, or moving across the country. Persist through difficulties for your aspiration. Remember your commitment, the waking up at 5 a.m. for lifting, 8 a.m. for class, going to work at 3 p.m. and not getting off till 9, then doing homework till you couldn't keep your eyes open and starting all over again. Remember your commitment. Today marks a day of triumph and success, one of many in our lives as Blue Hawks. With aspirations before us, we've successfully persisted through difficulty in this journey, and I say to you, keep going.
Nice job.
Our Director of Academic Records and University Registrar, Kathy Meyer, will read the names of the candidates as they come forward and approach the platform. On behalf of the faculty whom I represent today, we extend to you, the candidates for graduation, our most sincere congratulations. Dr. Joan Oss and Dr. Lori Hoff, please come forward to assist with the hooding of our master's degree candidates. Will all the candidates for degrees please stand? President Easton, Board Member Hacker. These candidates have fulfilled the requirements for graduation for the appropriate academic degree. Therefore, I recommend the awarding of the appropriate degree that each candidate may enjoy the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining to that degree.
By the authority vested in me by the State Board of Higher Education and the State of North Dakota, I hereby confer upon you the academic degree that you have completed. Undergraduates, you may now move your tassels from the right to the left and then be seated. Thank you for standing, but you can be seated now. And graduates, beginning with the master's degree graduates, please approach the platform and receive your diplomas. Master's degree candidates will be hooded today by Dr. Joan Oz and Dr. Lori Hoff.
Payson Timothy Dirk. Reggie Todd Fields, Jr. Natalie Eleanor Hafer. Sherry Hewson. Gresh Paul Jones. Desmond Bryce Knox. Tobin Nelson O'Brien. Emily Sickler. Jalan Lamont Tinnen. Devin McKay Martin Williams. Martha Jane Harrison. Lilia Jessup. Kingsley Okoro. Mackenzie Page Reed. Ashley Jean Watts. Kirsten Michelle Bowen. Alexa Ray Delbridge. Tyler John Bay. Logan Agee. Madeline Hannell. Presenting Madeline's diploma this morning is her stepfather, Pete Stanton, DSU alum and faculty member at Dickinson State University. Ashlyn R. Hiller. Kendra Lynn Kaufman. Dawson Cross McLaughlin. Hope Nelson. Tara Reinert. Lauren Scholerman. Chelsea Elizabeth Wright. Alexis Bachler. Zachary Lawrence Fleming. Tia N. Hallock. John M. Karanka. Michael K. Larios. Jerica Jane Prowse. Adriana Rose Sokolovsky. Kennedy Lane Sunsbach. Hoyt Matthew Zander. Natasha Lynn Barranco. Cole Baumiller. Allie Hicks. Matty Kramer. Connor McCarville. Presenting Connor's diploma this morning is his father, Russell McCarville, a faculty member at Dickinson State University. Kiana Jean Miller. Faith Verdella Schnabel. Connor Seefeld. Kyle William Anderson. Jared John Baumiller. Ashley Marie Bepley. Jordan Elizabeth Burke. Ethan Cole Cleveland. Meg Covert. Sydney J. Fowler. Jackie Lynn Jenkins. Alexander Brady Call. Thomas Kasseth. Jordan Kippenham. Ariel Lee Matthews. Hillary Ann Moberg. Presenting Hillary's diploma this morning is her father, Kevin Moberg, a faculty member at Dickinson State University. Michael David Moore. Alice Magabi. Hunter Lee Myron. Presenting Hunter's diploma this morning is his father, Trent Myron, DSU alum and faculty member at Dickinson State University. Rachel Katrina Schumacher. Isosa Belo. Derek James Calvillo. Cody James Chappell. Jacob James Clinton. Ellie Marie Cunningham. Priyanka Sharesta Davis. Ariana Sky Eilers. Ellison Ellertson. Gunnar Samuel Keith Farstveit. Dalton Joseph Falesh. Emily Marie Gregg. Evan John Hankey. Cole Jensen. Brandon T. Johnson. Isaiah John Clute. Cameron Michelle Kuntz. Callie Sue Kuntz. Isabel Guadalupe Lopez. Michael Marie Meitinger. Matthew Meshke. Kia Marie Munson. Rebecca Lynn Schmidt. Victoria Alejandra Trochez Abstadal. Cassie Lynn Wagner. Emma Kate Woodworth. Dakota David Aseth. Ethan Ray Anderson. Alicia Grace Burbank. Christian Cruz. Ellison Ann Daniel. Presenting Allison's diploma this morning is her father, Tim Daniel, DSU alum and faculty member at Dickinson State University. Martin Farver. Adrian Yannick Fisher. Kyle Heiser. Haley Irie Henderson Enriquez. Dalton R. Herbst. Brandon Hogan. Breck Kohler. Jay Limpot. Melissa Eliandra Martinez. Bailey Pepper. Tristan Giles Peterson. Allison Lee Presler. Brooklyn Tronstead. Nestor Vasquez. Kaya Ward. Cole Werner. Sarah Ray Griffiths. Abigail Faith Clute. Zoe Marie Stroop. Penny Sua. Leighton Rodney Lane. McCready Hawk Miller. Hardika Nupane. Regina Renee Yonker. Amanda Lee Adams. Laura Jane Barney. Naval Shatillo. Michaela Collins. Kelsey J. Copenhaver. Sadie Dvorak. Ellie Getz. Alyssa Kitzman. Sarah Kerner. Iomida Oinanian. Nicole Prouse. Caitlin Marie Silbernagel. Bryce Jared Bond. Caitlin Nicole Vernon. Coulter Thomas Hickok. Anna Grace Clute. Cheryl Joan Kubik. Andrew Madrigal. Sunshine Megan Cuboyan Vicenta. Kayla Marie Basler. Rhea Paiva. Carlos Daniel Ramirez. Madison Stevens. Natty Mastel. Ava Marie Schneider. Audrey Emerson. Jenna Jacobson. Alyssa Kessel. Nicole Kessel. Jessica Kostelecki. Maxine Lonoy Mosqueda. Jessica Lynn Olson. David John Pearson. Tamandari Sawerengera. Abigail Simmerad. Sterling Sickler Zietz. Taylor M. Vandal. Anna Helena Kosmiarska. Troy James King. Presenting Troy's diploma this morning is his father, Doug King, a faculty member at Dickinson State University. Madeline Soror. Carly Sickler. Jacqueline Belford. Delia Delgado. Peyton James Hansen.
Please join me in also acknowledging our graduates who are joining us via live stream. With that, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2023 who are now alumni of Dickinson State University. I invite the graduates to express their appreciation to those who are here who helped them achieve this milestone: parents, spouses, other family members, and loved ones. And also, let's just take a moment to remember those who can't be with us, who helped you on your way. They aren't all here in this room. None of us gets here on our own. None of us gets here on our own. So thank you to all those people too. Now, on behalf of the Dickinson State alumni, I am a Dickinson State alum, so I want to welcome you. You are now all alumni of Dickinson State University. We hope you will keep in contact with us regularly. We have some new means of doing that. Sign up for Alma Base so we can keep you in contact with your friends and others you will meet who are in our alumni group. You will find, as I have, that it's a special bond with people that are alumni of Dickinson State University. There's a real pride in our school, and we're proud to have you as alums. I'd now like to recognize all of those who worked to make this day happen. A whole bunch of people. They are noted in the commencement booklet, and if we just thank them collectively, we appreciate the work. After the recession, we invite everyone to proceed through the curtain, through the doors at Scott Shed. Those of you who are watching this remotely, it's Weinberger Hall, where we have our reception after the ceremony. There are some departmental banners up that can help you find your friends and fellow graduates. Now, as is our tradition, at the end of each commencement since 1920, please stand for the singing of the Dickinson State University alma mater, which is in the programs. It will be led by Kirsten Bowen, one of our graduates, and one of our commencement speakers.
in your area during the recessional to allow graduates, faculty, and platform parties time to access the basement. Thank you. I now declare the 2023 DSU commencement ceremony closed.